myself in it because those were things we all used to go through. Today I want to talk, and I've titled my speech, Ghana's Independence, Is It Worth Celebrating? And before I go on, let me say a big thank you to my big brother, Philip. I guess if my colleagues keep asking me, why is it that it's only Ghana celebrating the independence? I guess we can ask him why it's Ghana. Everything started, and we owe him much appreciation. I call him my boss. Boss. Thank you for the link between Ghana and Joensuu. As a growing boy back in Ghana, I used to enjoy Ghana's Independence Day celebrations. Not only because it was a holiday, but because it gave me the opportunity to meet students from other schools, and there were times you would have nice times. And this has been a practice for several years. Independence Day in Ghana is marked by parades in districts, regional and national levels, and it comes in various kinds. During such events, school children are ready to exhibit their marching dexterity. And the same applies to women and men of the military who use the occasion to showcase the world their expertise and marching skills. For students like me who grew up in the capital city, the dream was to participate in the highest national parade, which is held at the Independence Square in Ghana, because you have the opportunity of meeting the president and other leaders of the country, and also appearing on national television. But for me, I never got the opportunity of going there because my school never got the opportunity to be at that parade. Looking back at this experience, I keep thinking over the amount of resources that goes into organizing such nationwide events. Students and teachers have to spend a great amount of time to master the marching skills. There have been several locations where both students and military have collapsed before and during after the main event because they had to stand in the sun, the very scorching sun, for many hours. Trust me, the ordeal we had to go through during the rehearsals was very harsh, and similar situations existed everywhere across the country. But everyone was ready to go through it because of the love for our dear nation. There have been some who have raised questions about the manner Ghana celebrates the Independence Day. They describe the whole marching parade as severe and did not understand why the nation chooses to take its citizens through such ordeal during the celebration of independence. Subjective on the perspective, one will describe the whole parade process as punitive or not. Beyond that, I see the expression of love and dedication to our motherland. I see beautiful smiles and people filled with a hope for a dear nation. I see a common sense of purpose and unity as we sing the words of the national anthem. I see the same loyalty and braveness similar to what happened when Kwame Nkrumah made those famous independence declaration. And now, your beloved country, Ghana, is free forever. Maybe the deep politicization, greed, and clandestine motives may not offer us the opportunity to remember the true intent of those words. Maybe the lack of patriotism has dwindled the effects of the celebration of Independence Day. As a result, the celebration of Independence Day is reduced to being partying, holiday, free day, and enjoyments of all sorts. I stand before here today, brothers and sisters, and I speak with the following people in my thoughts. Our deprived farmers who have to survive with cutlasses and hoes, but are able to contribute to feed the country. My unfortunate brothers and sisters who, for lack of education, have to be eliminated to the background. Young men and women who, for lack of daily bread, have to resort to all sorts of social vices so they can keep body and soul together. The masses that die each day because they cannot afford good health care. Finally, I speak with the thought of fellow African brothers and sisters whose dreams and aspirations vanish into oblivion because our environment fails to offer them the opportunity to realize the dream. So I ask, can we collectively as a nation and as a continent do something to improve the lot of our brothers and sisters? I'll be very glad if someone can convince me Mama Africa lacks the resources to improve the lots of our countrymen, women, and children. Then I'll tell the person that Africa is the richest continent in terms of natural resources. Africa has enough natural resources to take care of the whole world. So why is it that it is the poorest of continents in economic terms? I have the strong conviction that we have all it takes to improve our respective nations and the African continent at large. Apart from our numerous natural resources, we also have the needed human resource to propel national and continental development. My plea is that we put development of our respective countries first in our deliberations. The divided house, they say, cannot stand. As such, even as we follow democratic principles and ideology, it will be prudent to recognize the limits of such ideologies. When people talk about majority carrying the vote, I ask, is it an honest majority? What I mean here is that our different views should empower us to come out with much stronger views. Our varying mindset must teach us to tolerate each other and unite us for a common goal. If we can do away with things that will benefit only individuals and think about collective national and continental development, then some successes will be realized. If in our respective spheres of life, we will be honest and put an end to the abuse of power and abuse of state resources. Think about the unfortunate ones and the less privileged. Then we will contribute to a developed society for all. If our culture and society will stop endorsing greediness and injustice, then there will be no need of amassing so much wealth because our status in the society will not be measured by how wealthy we are. I would always be grateful to Finland for teaching me some great lessons in life. And I want to say to all Finnish people here, Teila on mahtava. At this moment, I say a big thanks to all Finnish people and other non-African nationalities that made time to attend this event. Finland, just like numerous African countries, had to fiercely fight for its independence. Maybe words cannot describe the efforts of all the veterans that laid down their lives for the independence of Finland. Today, Finland stands tall in the whole world. The World Economic Forum rates Finnish economy among the top 3. Transparency International rates Finland as the least corrupt country. Finnish educational system is second to none. And just this morning, I read, if you want the purest and cleanest food in Europe, then you should come to Finland. The few can go on and on. The list can go on and on. Ghana has come far as a nation, although I believe there is still more we can do. Gradually, we have emerged as a beacon of democracy in Africa, and we must be proud of that. However, let us not relent on our efforts. As Kwame Nkrumah said, the independence of Ghana is meaningless unless it is linked to the total liberation of the African continent. If we have peace, and our neighbors, our brothers and sisters do not have peace, then how do we thrive? A single chapel cannot burn. It needs a lot more chapel around it to burn. If we can radically work at improving the number of our citizens contributing to the national cake, and also increase the efficiency of the national output, then we can contribute to the continental output, and we can soon rock horns with other developed economies. As we celebrate Ghana's 56th Independence Day today, my humble call to lawmakers is to think about how we should celebrate such important days. But more importantly, Such celebrations should remind and instill in all Ghanaians, both home and abroad, the need to work towards a developed and happy Ghana. The celebration should motivate us, just as our comrades and fellow citizens were motivated in 1957. May God guide our hearts and our minds. May He guide our leaders so they make right decisions for our country and for Mother Africa. May all the citizenry of Ghana and of Africa and of all developing economies be empowered so our living conditions will be improved. My longest call may go to leaders and citizens far away in Africa, but my immediate call is to all of us seated here. Let the lessons we learn be channeled into improving the lives of our brothers and sisters back home. In our own small way, we can make an effort. A journey of 1,000 miles, they say, begins with the first step. God bless Ghana. God bless Africa. God bless us all.